Hey guys, Josh here, and believe it or not, August 2024 is already here. This month will be quite packed with promising farming sims and other cool games, so in this video I would like to share with you all of the games that I'm the most excited for. If you find one that you're interested in, consider leaving a like on the video and subscribe for more content like this. We will go in chronological order starting on August 5th with Fields of Mistria for Steam in Early Access. Does this game even require an introduction? Probably not, I'll do it anyway, but I think that most of you are already eagerly waiting to play this one. Fields of Mistria is a pixel art farming sim that clearly takes inspiration from anime of the 80s and 90s, and not only is the game pleasing to the eyes thanks to its unique cast of characters, clean art style, and a lovely pastel color palette, but its gameplay should be just as good. There was a demo for this game a few weeks ago on Steam. It's no longer available unfortunately, but I've played it and the gameplay was smooth and satisfying. It featured fun mechanics like the ability to use magic spells to help you water crops or regenerate your stamina. You could unlock perks and skills as you progressed. You could jump, yes, jump in a farming sim, and you could also dive and pick up critters from the water, kind of like in Animal Crossing. What stood out to me the most with Fields of Mistria was just how everything felt so polished and nice. This will be an early access release, so some features might be missing, the story might be incomplete, but I am confident that despite the fact that it is early access, it will be a very fun game worth playing from the start, and I can't wait for all of us to experience it on August 5th. The day after, we will have Natsu-Mon 20th Century Summer Kid releasing for the Nintendo Switch and Steam. This game is developed by Millennium Kitchen, the team behind the Boku no Natsuyasumi series, and they also made the Shinchan Me and the Professor on Summer Vacation, and this new game takes the same premise and mechanics. Not only that, it is also co-developed with Toy Box Inc., which, if you're not familiar, is the studio founded by Yasuhiro Wada, the creator of the Harvest Moon series. Basically, you play as this kid enjoying his summer vacation in the Japanese countryside, and you fish, catch bugs, get to know the different characters, and one big feature of this specific entry is that it is open world. I actually played the Japanese version of it when it released last year, and I was planning to make a video review. I never got around to finishing it, but I had a good time with the game. The map was quite large with a lot to explore. I remember spending a lot of time on this huge mountain in the middle of the map, and there were lots of critters and collectibles to find, which made the exploration very satisfying. The dialogues were fun and lighthearted. It was overall a very chill experience, and it's been a while since I played, but I do remember having some performance issues with the Switch version, so I will probably go for Steam this time. By the way, if you look at the Steam page right now, you might see that the game is already out, but keep in mind that the English language support will only be added from August 6th. They're also releasing a DLC called Broadcast Over Sunset, which includes a brand new island to explore. If you're not sure whether or not you will like this game because it is quite a unique genre, there is a demo available on the Nintendo eShop right now, not for Steam unfortunately, but it will let you get a taste of the game. You can see if the Switch version performs well, and then your save will be transferred to the full game if you do decide to purchase it. Shortly after, on August 8th, we have Cat Quest 3, releasing on most platforms, so PS4, 5, Xbox One, Series X, Series S, Nintendo Switch, and Steam. I have never played a Cat Quest game before, but I keep hearing great things about them, so I want to get started with this one. In this action RPG that can be enjoyed either in solo or local co-op, you play as a pirate, explore dungeons, engage in battles, and all of this in a beautiful and colorful world filled with cat puns everywhere. To make exploring that world easier and more fun, for the first time in the series, you will be able to sail the seas with your ship and use cannons to defend yourself against other pirates and hopefully get some nice loot from them. It seems like there will be a ton of secrets to uncover, treasures to find, quests to complete, and the developers are giving us complete freedom to do things in any order we'd like. There is a demo available right now. Let me know if you have tried it. Also, let me know if you've played the previous Cat Quest games, or if you're like me and just very tempted to discover the series with this one. The next game will be on August 15th with the release of Minami Lane for the Nintendo Switch. This one released for Steam in February, and I do have a review on my channel, which I will link in the description if you're interested in knowing more about this game. To summarize, Minami Lane is a cozy management sim where you have different scenarios. Think of games like Roller Coaster Tycoon, where you have to reach a certain amount of money or customers, And you also get additional objectives, such as completing everything within a certain period of time, for those who want an extra challenge. Overall though, it is a pretty chill game. You place houses and shops on your street, and you then have to adjust the products you're selling, for example by changing the price or the ingredients in a recipe, in order to find the perfect balance and please all of your villagers, young and old, who have different tastes. It's very simple and it's also very short. You can complete the whole game in under 3 to 5 hours. That being said, it is cute, it feels polished, you can tell the couple who worked on it put a lot of care in it, and my time with Minami Lane was short but sweet. If you go in knowing what to expect, I think it is worth the $5 US or 650 Canadian on Steam, and I'm sure that the price on Switch shouldn't be too different from that. The next day we will get a game with quite the name, Elrentaros Wanderings, for Switch on the 16th and Steam on the 22nd. This game, developed by Hakama, the studio behind the Rune Factory series, released in Japan last year under the name Rare Sekai. I did play the Japanese version and I have a video covering my first thoughts, which I do recommend watching if you think this might be a game for you. Elrentaros Wanderings is a dungeon crawler RPG where each run you get to complete specific challenges and obtain new equipment. Each piece of gear will have its own traits and stats, and most of the game revolves around doing the same dungeons over and over again to get slightly better stuff. Once you become strong enough, you unlock a new dungeon and you just keep progressing like that. It's a simple gameplay loop, but very addictive, and I found the combat quite fun. Between the dungeons, there are lots of dialogues and events where I get to know the different characters, and there is a pretty basic relationship system where you can form alliance with characters by gifting them tokens and receive buffs from them that will help you in combat. There is also a tiny bit of farming, but you really just pick up sparkling seeds on the ground as you explore the overworld, press one button to plant them in your fields, and after 1 or 2 dungeons, they're ready to be picked up and instantly turned into tokens, which is that currency used to gift villagers. If you have played Silent Hope, this game is very similar to that, but a little bit better in my opinion. The phases between dungeons are a bit more engaging, the combat has more to it as well, it gets a bit more challenging, and overall there is more to the experience, but remember that in the end it is a dungeon crawler, it is repetitive and simple, so you have to know what kind of game you are going into, but I played for about 10 hours of the Japanese version, and I cannot wait to get back into it with the English version, and this time play through the whole thing. Then on August 21st, we'll be getting Mika in the Witch's Mountain for Steam and Nintendo Switch, with other consoles planned for later this year. In this game, clearly inspired by Studio Ghibli, you will be taking the role of Mika, this aspiring witch who starts a delivery service on a small island. You will deliver packages to the townspeople with your broom, and you will gradually upgrade your broom, which will allow you to reach new parts of the island, and eventually reaching your goal of getting to the top of the mountain, the Witch's Mountain. There is currently a demo for this one on Steam. We're very lucky right now, we're getting lots of demos, and I think it should be up until the release date. I played it and quite enjoyed it. Flying was very fun and smooth, the game looked beautiful, very reminiscent of The Wind Waker. The only thing is that it was a very short demo, not quite long enough to get a clear idea of the gameplay loop, I found personally, but I had a good time. One interesting thing I just noticed with this release is that it will be an early access title, at least on Steam it will be labeled as such, so the main story will be complete from day one, there will be 36 deliveries for you to do and 18 side quests, for a total of about 5 hours of gameplay. But within the next 6 months, they will be adding more side quests, some minigames including a fishing one, dungeons, new cosmetics, and more, and they mentioned that a price increase might happen once the full release is out. However, the thing is, on Switch, the game will launch on the same date, but there's no early access label that exists on the Nintendo eShop, so players who buy it there will perceive it as a full game. The main story content will be there, which will technically make it a full game, but I don't know how to feel about the fact that they are telling Steam players that it is early access and there will be more coming later, while at the same time telling Switch players that it is the full game. I think it could have been better to just call it a full release everywhere and say that there will be extra content added later, or something like that, but let me know what you think of this situation. I have been looking forward to this game for a long time, but that whole thing is making me question if I want to play it now or in 6 months when it's actually complete. The last game for today's video is one we do not have an exact release date for yet, but Harvest Moon Home Sweet Home should be releasing for Android and iOS sometime in August. This will be the newest entry in the Harvest Moon games, being developed by Natsu-Mon, and as you can see, it borrows a lot from The Winds of Anthos. Most of the assets are being reused, but instead of taking place in this huge open world with 5 different towns, the focus will be on restoring Alba, which is your hometown. This actually sounds quite nice to me because I did enjoy some of the mechanics and graphics in The Winds of Anthos. What I didn't like was the open world, which felt empty, so if we can get a smaller region filled with details and things to do, I'm here for it. Even though this game will be on mobile, it will be a one-time purchase with no microtransactions, so I think we can expect it to play like most farming games, but with simple touch controls adapted for phones and tablets. And I like that it will make the genre a bit more accessible for those who maybe don't have a PC or gaming console. Admittedly, I don't play many games on my phone, but I am quite curious about this one and I will make sure to cover it on the channel whenever it releases. I also wanted to mention briefly that Natsu-Mon will be releasing Harvest Moon One World Complete for the Nintendo Switch on August 16th. This will include the base game as well as the DLC for One World, all in one cartridge. I am a bit surprised to see them re-releasing that game. It's also far from my favorite, but I think this could be good for those who loved it to have a physical edition with the DLC. If you pre-order it, you will also get this Sasquatch plushie, so it will probably appeal to collectors and those who enjoyed the game already, but I don't know if it will really bring in new players, especially since The Winds of Anthos, despite its flaws, is infinitely better than One World. But that last little one aside, these are all of the games I am looking forward to playing in August. Let me know which ones you will be getting and if you've played any demos or previous versions of these games. Also, I would like to let you know that the Gaming Garden podcast, my weekly podcast about farming games, has moved from this channel to a brand new separate one. So if you are interested in me chatting with other content creators, as well as game developers about all of these games, make sure you check out that new channel using the link in the description. And that's it for today. Leave a like and subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you all in the next video.